with another flip through. This time I'm going to be showing you my second year of bullet journaling, which was 2019. Similar to my first year of bullet journaling, I did a lot of recreations of other spreads that I saw on YouTube. This was really helpful for me because I didn't really know how to draw or do brush lettering. So by recreating themes, I learned how to doodle different things, and I got to practice my lettering, and more importantly, I got to focus on using my bullet journal for productivity and reflection. I started with my year at a glance, which I referred to when I did my monthly setups to see when the month begins and ends. I did a grid spacing cheat sheet here to quickly be able to see how many boxes I'd need to split my page up into halves or into thirds or quarters. I didn't get much use out of this, to be honest, because I usually have a header which varies in size depending on the spread, so I usually need to work out the spacing for each different spread anyway. Then I have my future log, where I put in all of the events for the year. I add to this through the year too, and my great events and tasks to my monthly log once I have my month set up. For my 2019 goals, I had a word of the year to remind myself of what I wanted to feel throughout the year. It's easy to forget when you get busy with life. I had some very simple goals for myself, for my kids, some financial goals, physical goals, and self-care. Some of them are specific, like wanting to overpay a certain amount into our mortgage every year, but other goals are not specific at all, but just more of a guide on what I want to be focusing on or doing more of in general. I didn't want to pressurise myself too much because I was working full-time in quite a high-pressured corporate job, and I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, so I wanted to be able to enjoy my time with them too. I had my annual mood tracker again. Purple is happy and content, which I think that's what I am by default, with a few tired and unsettled days scattered around. And then my annual wellness tracker with a few different activities scattered around, with more of a focus on weightlifting in the summer months because I just got really into it. These are just some words I wanted to remember throughout 2019. Here are some ideal habits for the mornings, evenings, weekly and monthly. I don't do habit trackers very often, but I just like to remind myself of my ideal habits regularly. This is a summary of 2018, some highlights, accomplishments, lessons learnt, what I was feeling and what I was grateful for. Followed by what I want from the year ahead. Things to keep from 2018, things to change and let go of, things to learn and things to bring. I really liked this. I saw this in Boho Berry's journal on YouTube and it felt perfect. Serenity, the state of being calm, peaceful and untroubled. Basically my life goal. There's no theme for January. I just have a monthly log and a couple of weeklies. It must have been a slow start to the year. Some things to check out. I didn't really make use of this spread much. And then we have February cherry blossoms, a very popular theme. Some days I just needed to check in with myself again, so I'd do a simple one-page spread like this with some words to remind me of what I wanted to focus on and enjoy. I had my weekly ideal habits in a little square at the bottom of my weekly spreads to tick off each week, which helped me stay accountable for them. Another reminder of how to stay healthy while juggling so many different priorities. On to March. You'll notice that my spreads are much more colourful than they are this year. I enjoyed experimenting with colour and discovering my own preferences, which is now more muted colours and pages that are less busy. You kind of have to try different things to see what you do and don't like. A fun spring wardrobe spread with my favourite spring outfits, so I could just throw everything on and not end up looking around for shoes or jackets that match because I'd thought it all through already. My weightlifting log to record my progress. The wellness tracker at the beginning shows me an overview of the year in activities, but when I get into something, I like to have a dedicated spread to track it in more detail. I didn't always have time to draw or make pretty spreads, so I would just pour everything out onto the page on those weeks. I remember why I was so busy and overwhelmed this particular week. I had a huge deadline at work that week that I needed to focus on, and I needed to be in the office every day. But on that Monday, I got a call from nursery saying that my son had chickenpox and had to be sent home. My husband was in South America for work, and my in-laws were on holiday in India. So I had to rush home, look after my son for the week with chickenpox, and do all of the work that I needed to do from home. And it all just got on top of me. It says staying positive on Monday, and then struggling on Tuesday. By Thursday, I've written losing patience, exhausted. So yeah, I didn't have much time to doodle that week. And the following week, my daughter was sent home with chickenpox, but luckily my husband was back, so I had some support. This theme feels very bright and unlike me, but it was fun at the time. I just love this quote. What if I fall? Darling, what if you fly? I did a couple of quick spreads here to identify things that boost my energy and things that drain my energy. A really useful one to do that helps you do more of the good stuff. On to June. I really got used to using my weekly spreads and daily to-dos. I was using them so much more than the previous year. This was a draft of some house values that I wrote up on a chalkboard to put up in the house. In our house, we do not blame, and we do sorries, mistakes, second chances, trust, freedom, gratitude, kindness, togetherness, and love. I think remembering those things can just help you be a lot closer as a family and encourage us to be kind to each other. I love going to the opera with one of my closest friends, and we've been to quite a few. I wanted to write up a little bit about each of them here, but I never got round to it. This yellow hurts my eyes. I won't be using anything this bright again. Some highlights from our camping trip in France and things to remember for next time. You know what I'm going to say now? This is too much colour for me. The cookie jar spread. I read a book by David Goggins and learnt about an interesting idea that really helps you gather strength at times that you really need it. You write up some things that make you feel really good and remind you of how tough and strong you are. Put them all on a piece of paper each and into a cookie jar. When times get tough, or if you're working on something challenging like training for a marathon and you just want to give up, pull out one of the cookie jar items and it will give you the strength and energy to carry on. So I used a metaphorical cookie jar and I wrote up a range of things, including physical challenges that I've been part of, accomplishments, and getting through stressful times like surviving my wedding or my master's degree. There's a quote from Goggins here, which is, "Pull out a cookie and remember what a badass you are. Let it fuel you in the heat of a battle." The cookie jar actually was really helpful in the gym when I was trying to lift more weight, and even at situations at work that almost felt like battles sometimes. 4 months before the end of the year, I did a quick check-in to think about what I wanted to do more or less of for the rest of the year. I love this mountain theme. I got it from Claudia Joseph, who has a great YouTube channel, by the way. This feels much more pleasing to look at for me, but I know it's a personal preference, so I'd be interested in hearing which themes you prefer as you're looking through my journal with me. October always feels like the month to use blacks and darker colours. There's some lists here to think about what actually makes your heart happy, because it's sometimes easy to confuse that with the things that just give you pleasure. Those things are a bit more superficial and external fun things rather than internal. You can see towards the end of the year I haven't focused on designs and just wanted to write some lists. Quick wins is a useful list of things that you can do quickly and easily, like wiping down the kitchen worktops while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. Small things you can squeeze in that help you stay on top of things. This is also a great list, things to start doing, keep doing, and stop doing. November leaves. I love the look of brown leaves flying around on the journal pages. A list of small things that make me happy, like cosy blankets and autumn walks, and the bigger things that you might forget about and take for granted. This was my first time including watercolour in my journal, inspired by Amanda H. Lee. I love this Northern Lights vibe. It was so much fun to do and really nice and wintry to look at. Although I wish I was a bit more careful with glue because the pages keep sticking together. These are some journaling prompts from Boho Berry. These are really good for reflection. This year I've been following the List With Me challenge on Instagram and sharing my lists there if you'd like to see those. Some more Boho Berry prompts. Things that make me me, pet peeves, things I forgive myself for, things I would do if I wasn't worried about failing. On there I have write a book or start a business. And that's it. My 2019 journal ends there. I hope you enjoyed walking through my year with me and got some list ideas for your own journal too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.